Hey guys, Apex Legends patch notes legacy update is here, and we have them. I'm going to go straight to them right now, and I just want to say hello. Never give up, never stop gaming. Excited to have you guys here. I just revealed Arena's gameplay, and if you guys want to see it, go check my channel because it's live right now. And I also have more coming out later. I'll probably do another Arenas tomorrow, so hit that notification bell. But here's the big deal. We got to know what's happening in Legacy. It's the biggest update so far in the history of Apex because they're calling it Legacy, not Season 9, which makes you know that they changed things from a number to a word. We went to a word, okay? We got off all of math, and we went to language. That's how much of a switch this is. And so I'm excited to bring it to you guys and keep throwing out some gameplay. We should have a short today as well talking about Valkyrie. So stay tuned for everything. It's a lot of fun happening. But let's read the patch notes. Arenas. The games are going underground with the introduction of a new permanent mode. Arenas, fully reassembled and unimpressed with the glitz and glamour of the Apex games. Former Apex Predators taking Ash back to its roots, a purer form of combat. It's simple. 3v3, eliminate your opponents, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You win or you die. Arenas features a set of custom maps, tailor-made for close quarters combat with more to come in the future. Squads start each round in a spawn room where they can get weapons, gear, and abilities and adjust their loadout as the strategy changes. The first team to win 3 rounds with at least 2-point lead will be crowned the victor unless they battle to a 4-4 tie. Then they'll have the honor of participating in Ash's favorite part of the game, sudden death. Now, you guys can watch my video. You can check this blog. Most of you who are coming here know a lot about Arenas. It's been the hot topic, and we're going to talk about that maybe more through my experience in the videos, but I want to get some balance changes, the big weapon changes, the big things we need to talk about, because that's what's really going to be interesting towards the end of this video, and so stay tuned for that. But just a quick look, this is Party Crasher. This is the first video I just made on Arenas. It takes place in this Mirage Voyage area where half of the Mirage Voyage is crashed into a city, or half of the city is Mirage Voyage, where it has crashed into it, and the other half is the city, so undisturbed, and it's a really great high-low ground Arenas map. This is the other Arenas map called Phase Runner, which is pretty nice too because it has this lore element where it's a Phase Runner that is on Olympus, but this isn't Olympus. This is, I believe, Talos or Thalos. I forget the exact name, but it shows you that the arena is actually giving you some lore. This was earlier Phase Runner, right? It wasn't the first of its kind. The one on Olympus is one that was done afterwards. So how did they get the tech? How did they evolve it? All that cool stuff. Valkyrie is in a great position. If you guys have not seen Valkyrie's video, we might as well just watch it really quickly right here because it's 1 minute and 35 seconds, and you'll see exactly how her abilities work.
Call sign Valkyrie.
Valkyrie on station, ready for anything. Hell, everything.
Daughter of the notorious Apex Predator Viper, Valkyrie is determined to carve her own path and make history remember her name.
No one gives a crap who's better.
Ambitious charge rifle shot right there. That is an ambitious charge rifle shot.
Valkyrie takes the fight to new heights.
Whoever said the sky's the limit never left the ground.
With shades of North Star's hellfire, Valkyrie can target an area and unleash a swarm of mini-rockets.
So she has the rockets, the missile swarm.
Oh, I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be timid and shy. My bad.
If her team is pinned down or feeling aggressive, Valkyrie can kick her jets into high gear.
Who's ready to pull some G's?
This is crazy.
Rocket her entire squad into the sky above.
This is
allowing
crazy.
Her team to make a quick escape or redeploy to get the drop on their enemies.
I make a great wingman.
Y'all see that?
So be sure to keep your eyes on the sky. There's nowhere to hide once Valkyrie's got you in her sights.
Ooh, a little bow check bow.
These wings aren't just to get around.
That's the finisher you gotta have. That's the finisher you gotta have. So anyway, she's great. You guys could see hype in the chat. You guys should definitely see that this is a really fun one. Just a quick overview. She has the jetpack, which allows you to burst up and down like you would think. You can control it. Takes an initial burst right away when you're using it, and then you can kind of steadily stay up. But then if you stop using it, then you want to start again. You'll start falling and you start again. Boom, another chunk will go down. So you'll use less of it as you consistently use it, but if you just press at, it'll go down pretty quickly. If you try to like stagger it, you might get some quick bursts, but you'll also chunk it out. So it's one of those things where you have to be careful. You cannot use your weapon while you're flying, so you have to be falling, and it means that it's going to be hard to hit your shots, but also that if you're trying to fly and avoid, you can't be doing damage back. Missile Swarm's pretty great. What they didn't talk about too much was the disorientation, which is big. It's like a defensive bombardment. When it hits you, you actually can't move your character too well. And I have a because the embargo is, well, I'm not going to show it to you now because there's no point. But anyways, I'll show it in a video coming out today on the short to really describe this in detail. Skyward Dive is amazing, and she's a recon legend. So she can redeploy her and her teammates literally up, like she just goes up to the top of the sky and does a whole new like sky drop to a new location. So it's amazing with relocation, and she's a recon legend. So she'll know where the circle is. This means she's going to be competitive, I think, almost like instantly competitive. The Bocek bow is a new bow. So this bow I did a video on as well. Holding down will fire the bow over a short time, increasing the power of the shot with maximum power, giving optimal damage and projectile speed. So the longer you hold it, the more damage it does. It's 70 as a body shot. It's about 30 if you just quick fire it. And it's about 96 on a headshot with someone who has a full purple helmet. Repeatedly firing the Bocek bow right as it reaches max power provides the best sustained damage, which means that you're going to have several hop-ups that work with it. I'll mention it, but this is the only weapon in the game that takes 2 hop-ups at the same time. So you don't have to switch. You can use both. There's a short range and a long range mini game hop up that I'll show you guys and explain later on when we get into the weapons. The Bocek also uses arrows, which is unique. Arrows are more rare in the battlefield, but they will stick into surfaces and remain in the world for players to pick up and reuse. That's cool. I didn't even know that. The 1-time HCOG, 1-time Hollow Sight, 2 times HCOG, the Bruiser, the 1 and 2 variable, the 3-time Ranger can all be equipped, but you can't do like a 4 times or clearly a 2 to 4 times. So nothing past 3 times for the arrow, which makes sense. The Bocek can also be further modified with 2 new hop-ups entering the game. It can even equip both simultaneously. All right, like we said. So, Olympus, the Lost Fleet update. A fleet of mysterious ships have made their way to Olympus and brought with them an otherworldly parasitic plant that has begun to take root along the surface. The lead ship, the Icarus, has docked with the city and changed the landscape for good. Fight through the claustrophobic halls of the ghost ship, search corpses for a mysterious keycard, and walk away as the last squad standing. Very interesting. I just like the idea that this mysterious fleet of ships have brought this really mysterious infestation. It's like, how much mysteriousness is going on? That's too many. Let us at least know what the infestation is, or at least know what the ships. I mean, come on now. Come on now. All right, starter kit and loot changes. This is a big change for the game if you played Apex for a while. Players will now start with a starter kit consisting of a level 1 Evo shield, a helmet, a knockdown shield, plus 2 shield cells and syringes. We've removed level 1 helmets and knockdown shields from the loot pool. Spawn chances for level 1 Evo shields in the loot pool have been significantly reduced because you have them already. Along with the lowered or removed spawn chances for these items, we've rebalanced the loot pool such that higher level versions of these items will appear nearly the same as they do now, but other item types will appear more often. Weapons, ordnance, health, ammo, etc. So this will do several interesting things, but let's read the dev note. We've wanted to take a crack at improving the loot game for a while, with our design goals being the loot game. The design goals being to make picking up loot feel more impactful to the game and to thin out our loot a bit in general. Since we're always adding new items to the pool, the recent Locked and Loaded Takeover mode helped us field test some of the changes we're looking to make moving forward. Certain pieces of loot and low-tier loot types specifically are being put on notice. Oops. We're removing level 1 helmets and knockdown shields from the ground loot because they seem like the least exciting, least meaningful equipment pickups we had. Their power is practically invisible, so they don't really feel like a character improvement in the way things like, say, a backpack feels. Getting those extra slots feels so chunky. Very true. We're keeping level 1 Evo shields in the loot pool, albeit at a lower spawn rate, in addition to adding them to your starter kit, because having them sprinkle around is important for shield swapping. So if you are running around, you lose your shield in a fight, but you open up a bin, there's another level white shield, then you want that because you could shield swap really quickly and stay in the fight, get that extra 50 health back. So that's why they're keeping them at least somehow. Finally, granting these pieces of gear from the start of the game is also intended to improve the hot drop situation. Having more health, some headshot damage reduction, and a little knockdown protection can help players give some more time to react to a chaotic hot drop than before. So here's what's cool about this. It also means that better players will be able to take advantage of this extra health to avoid getting ambushed by players just because they don't have a shield or a helmet or whatever. This is going to further help in many ways. Better players stay better than people who are not better than them. So if you really shouldn't be beating me in a fight, we both land and get a weapon, there's less of a discrepancy that there could be considering that we both have shields. If you had a shield and I didn't, that would just lean in your favor in terms of RNG. Now we know that won't be the case, but you could still, as a worse player, beat a better player off drop if you get a purple shield or a blue shield. It's possible. Those are still there, or you get a better weapon. But this should help both high-level players, and it should also help just people who are like, I got unlucky, and it's not about high level. I just got unlucky. I found nothing. Now you shouldn't have that anymore. I'm really excited about that. You guys let me know what you think. Oh, emotes, baby. Introducing emotes. Every legend will have one emote unlocked at launch, and additional emotes can be obtained through Apex packs or by crafting them. Equip your emotes to the emote wheel and flex away. It's great fun to show off to your squad mates in the starting room of arenas, and of course, you have to use them on the winner's podium. Also, I really enjoy the fact that it's easy. Wow, that's a cool one. It's easy to get thumbnails now for me. Having a third-person POV I can swivel within the game is really cool, and as a creator, this is awesome, I have to say. Now, since emotes kick your camera back to a third-person view, we know some folks are thinking about corner peeking. Competitive integrity is still paramount, so enemies that your character couldn't see in first-person view will not be shown while you're in third-person. Wow, so I wonder what that's going to look. This video shows the anti-peek working on a purple dummy behind the rock. Without it, Pathfinder will be able to use the third-person camera to gain knowledge that he shouldn't have. All emotes have anti-peek enabled, and there is no way to disable. Let's see. Oh, wow. So that's very interesting. So this is anti-peek, where you can not see it, but this is really where the enemy is. So in many ways, if you're emoting, you just knowing that I'm not getting information potentially. And even if you hear someone, you can't emote around a corner, which is always one of the big issues with emoting in a competitive game. I was working at Paladins and at High Res, and when they added third-person emotes to a first-person shooter, because emotes are helpful in seeing your character more in a first-person situation, because you buy skins for a character, but then you can't really see them all game. You know what I mean? That's like a monetization thing as well. They just added third-person to a whole new mode. It was like first-person or third-person gaming. And then they put it together, but it was just very interesting in the way that they did it. This, I think, is a very smart way, because the player can take the risk or not, which is what you're doing in emoting anyway. Like, the player's taking the risk because you're just standing there stationary, like flexing. All right, Battle Pass. I know you guys wanted to see this. Unlock the Premium Legacy Battle Pass and level it up to unlock new skins like Rampart's Crafty Kitsune and Premium level 25 and Red Demon's Whisper at Premium level 50. Nice. They look cool. All right, guys, here's a big one. Your boy was right, okay? Now, I didn't think low profile was going to just be taken away, but they have gotten rid of low profile. This trait has been removed from Wraith, Lifeline, and Watson. If you don't know what that means, it means they take extra damage. Your bullet does 5% more damage to Wraith, Lifeline, and Watson. Well, not anymore. In my video on how to buff these legends, which you should take a look at, it's 45 minutes of me doing my design work on changes that we'll see if they happen, we'll see if they didn't. This is one of the things I suggested as a tuning point for Wraith, because Wraith needs a little tuning, but she doesn't. All her other skills are really have been reworked so many times that this probably was the best way to bump her up with a significant touch, but not do anything drastic, because she's already on the precipice of being OP all the time. So amazing that was 2 weeks ago, and then this is what's happening. I was blown away that they had the same thoughts. So clearly we're thinking along the same lines. After our successful experiment with race hitboxes, we're now confident we could solve balance issues between smaller and larger legends through changes to their kits and hitboxes. It is finally time for low profile to go the way of the dodo. So basically what they think is really hitboxes can be the difference. And I think that's always been true. It's always been true. We've seen it in the beginning with Gibraltar, and we've seen it now with Wraith, so it's great to know. Okay. Lifeline. Big changes here, guys. Combat Revive no longer deploys a shield. Can now revive 2 players at the same time. Can now cancel active revives in progress to allow your teammate to defend themselves with their knockdown shield. Very smart. I was wondering what that was going to be. That's a great answer. So now you're not just going to have to get shot because there's no shield to protect you. You could put your shield up if you think, oh, I'll stop reviving and I'll just use my shield to stay alive. DOC Heal Drone. Heal rate increased from 5 HP a second to 8 HP. Deployment time before healing begins reduced by roughly 33%. So there's a 60% buff to the healing. So 8 HP per second. And you have a quarter less time before it starts healing. which is great. I mean, that seems like the drone's going to be even more powerful. Does Lifeline get freaking OP? Care package. Cooldown reduced from 6 minutes to 5 minutes. Good. That's probably one of the longest ultimate timers in the game. Now guarantees an upgrade in 3 categories: body shield, other equipment, helmet, backpack, and knockdown shield, and weapon attachment based on your team's current gear when the package arrives. Dev note, Lifeline's kit was not in a particularly healthy place. The passive shield was extremely strong to the point of frustration, while her tactical and ultimate seemed like they were becoming more and more obsolete. These changes are aimed to redistribute this big power differential between all of her abilities, making DOC and care package more powerful and effective, while tampering down on the highly binary and situational combat revive, which people either loved or hate, basically is what they're saying. Octane, stem reduce cooldown between stems from 4 seconds to 1 second. Oh my God, you could stem like all the time. But increased health cost from 12 HP to 20 HP. So nearly a 100% health cost increase. Increased bullet spread while in the air and shooting from the low launch pad trajectory. Okay, well, that makes sense. Octane continues to perform really well after the latest changes too well. We still love the frequency of the jump pad, but we like to make using stem something Octane thinks about doing at the right time instead of always slamming it by default. This is something I said that I knew he had already talked about, so we didn't really add our design thoughts to it. But I think they did the right thing on my thought, which was keep the jump pads how they are because they're really fun. They add a lot to Apex Legends. They add a lot to the movement. I've been calling it Airpex Legends now that we got the Horizon, Valkyrie, and Octane jump pads, but I think this is great. Here's the interesting thing, though. You're going to have to be a lot more careful as an Octane main. How much was Octane being played, by the way? 1 out of every 4 picks of characters. He was being played. That's a high level pick rate. That is a high pick rate when you consider there's like 16 legends or something like that. So Octane's 1 out of every 4. I mean, you know, he kind of is he had his heyday. We'll see if this changes. I'm very excited for that. LOBA, wow, we need some changes to the bracelet. We need some changes to that. Let's see. Burglar's best friend can now run and slide at full speed while aiming the bracelet. While the bracelet is in the air, LOBA will argue be slowed after translocating. Oh my God, this is what we said, yo. Fix a lot of bugs that cause bracelet tosses to fail. Black Market Boutique increase cooldown from 90 seconds to 120 seconds. That's probably fair. 90 seconds is really fast to get that Black Market Boutique. Plus, it's really strong. I love the changes to the ammo that they had. I think that's a good balancing note for this. Burglar's best friend, finally, guys. You can move, run and slide full speed while aiming the bracelet and while the bracelet's in the air, and you're not slowed after you translocate. Exactly what we said in the video. Exactly what would make her feel better. And exactly what they did. I love it. I love it. We're thinking along the same lines, guys. And anyone who's seen this video, who's seen my video first and now is seeing this, let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. This is awesome. Okay, gravity lift. Reduce lift speed by 30%. Reduce side-to-side acceleration. Limited the time you could sit at the top of gravity lift to 2 seconds. Increase cooldown from 15 seconds to 20 seconds. Horizon's abilities will now get zapped by Watson pylons. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, guys. Here we go. Okay. This is very interesting. All right, so they did a lot. I mean, I said some of these things. I don't know what I landed on, but I do think that one of the things that I was looking at they didn't touch was actually accuracy while in the air, so that if she wants to use it, it's more of a tool to escape and not something that is completely allowing her to be offensive while escaping. And I like this thought process as well, too. Horizon is powerful and popular, but that's not why we're making these changes. We believe that mistakes in Apex Legends should be punishable, and when Horizon could just get herself out of bad positioning while popping a whole battery, this just wasn't true. These changes have 2 goals. Make it much more possible for enemies to shoot Horizon as she sits in her gravity lift, and 2, make gravity lift less of an impromptu sniper tower. Meaning, you know, you can only sit at the top for 2 seconds. You might be able to get 1 shot or some vision, but you're not going to sit up the top, snipe, and just stay up there. And speed lift by 30% is going to make it feel different. I'm not sure how much more fun it's going to be, but I do think Horizon needs this. So finally, Horizon nerf, my friends. I know a lot of y'all are happy. I definitely think it's going to bring her back in balance, and that is good things. Those are good things, okay? I think we're happy about that. Fuse. Did Fuse get a little buff, baby? Fuse now has 2 stacks of Knuckle Cluster. Reduces cooldown from 25 seconds to 20. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was playing Fuse. I did a video on Fuse, and if you guys haven't seen, go check it out. It's on the arenas. But I was like, what's different about him? He feels just like, I feel like I'm Knuckle Clustering more. So more help is coming, but we want to be very careful how we buff him so he doesn't just become the legend that kills you with his abilities. I think this is great. I think Knuckle Cluster is an ability that needs to be spammed. You have to have multiple rounds of it. You have to have the ability to use this thing. There's nothing else that makes Fuse like a pickup besides this, because we know that his ultimate doesn't quite synergize with legends that are viable right now. Yeah, maybe a Caustic Fuse Horizon Wombo combo if you just set it all up, but then that's like one fight and you have to still fight everybody else. So I believe that this is a good tune. I'll be happier, and hopefully you guys are happy too, but I think obviously they know there's still more. Smoke launcher, thickened Bangalore smoke. Ooh, thickened. Huh. Last patch, we optimized Bangalore's smoke particles and inadvertently thinned them out. This aims to get her back to the original visuals while keeping the optimizations. Ooh. Got it. All right, so apparently that was happening, and now it's back. Oh my God, no, Bloodhound no longer receives assist from Eye of the Allfather. Bloodhound didn't get nerfed, no. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I wanted a Bloodhound nerf. I think the most annoying thing right now in Apex Legends is getting scammed by Bloodhound. I just don't like it. And I don't care about ranked points right now. You know, if you're Bloodhound scanning for ranked points, come on, man. But I agree with you. Why wouldn't you get an assist? This is an interesting change. So, because I'm gonna go against this change in a second as my thought process, and we'll see what happens. Bloodhound scan is strong, but the goal of this change in particular is to reconsider assists and their implications for rank points. There's enough intrinsic value in sonar scans, and it's a slippery slope to consider crediting assists for other non-damaging ability. Crypto will remain an exception. The active nature of Crypto's drone scan is notably different from the passive option with Bloodhound. This should encourage Bloodhound players to act on the information they get from the scan to eliminate instances where they might try to snag a quick assist without committing to a fight in the same way Crypto has to. Well, okay, here's what I think. I think this is one take. My take is, if I put my Crypto drone and I leave it above a fight and I see 3-4 people while they're fighting, right? And I'm getting assists for that vision that I'm adding to my team. I believe that I'm doing something to receive an assist. I'm not necessarily in the camp where I went and said, why isn't Crypto getting assists for this? I don't think I said that. But if you're telling me that that's what happens, I say that makes sense. Bloodhound scans actively an enemy, and then my team sees them, goes and kills them. I could see that being an assist. I don't know if this is the address that I would do for Bloodhound personally, but I do understand what they're saying with ranked, and they obviously have a higher eye on ranked and more high than me because I don't play as much ranked because I'm making more content and I'm a busier guy doing a lot of different things outside of just playing Apex Legends 8 hours a day, which you guys know. But I do think that this is one where I'd say Bloodhound is just somebody I was hoping for less scans of and less rank point issues with their scans. I want to see less Bloodhound scans. It's already huge. And the only reason I agree with this completely in some ways, because even though the logic for me is like, I could go either way, Bloodhound can scan, just stand there, press Q, and like see the world, okay? He doesn't even have to go on a date with Aladdin. Like, he doesn't have to have Jasmine, jump on the carpet and then be shown the world in a serenade atop the rooftops of, Agrabah. He just literally needs to press Q. Bloodhound just needs to press Q, and they could see the world. So I do think that maybe there's not something so valuable from Bloodhound's attempts. And the person who gets the kill from Bloodhound in that scan deserves all the credit, but Bloodhound maybe isn't doing too much there. I'm just tired of getting scanned. You guys can tell. Okay, next, moving on. Sorry for the delay. Okay, we still have weapons. We still have a couple other things. Crypto's drone can now scan an open care package. Wow. Can no longer use this drone to hijack a respawn beacon that's already in use. Okay, so if someone's using a respawn beacon, Crypto can't hijack that with his drone. Makes a lot of sense. And it can open care packages. That's pretty cool. And I love it. And you can scan it. All right, well, good stuff for Crypto. I like that change. Let me know what you guys think about the legend changes in Legacy. I'm loving it. Love the Fuse. Like the Horizon a lot. Absolutely in love with LOBA and Lifeline. Bloodhound, I'm a little salty, but we'll be there. All right, let's go. Here we go now. G7 Scout in the 30-30, currently in the assault rifle weapons category. This is weapons, baby, but they are a bit strange in that category due to the firing style and some of their handling values. Similarly, the triple take felt a little out of place in the sniper category. With the introduction of the Bocek bow, we felt it was a good time to introduce a new weapons category, Marksman Weapons, which will include G7, 30-30, triple take, and Bocek. Weapons in this category are precision weapons that are most effective up to medium-long range and are in the sort of in-between assault rifles and snipers. This allows us to begin moving the settings of these weapons towards more consistent value for the class and make the settings of ARs and snipers more consistent with less outliers. For starters, we're increasing the movement speed while aiming down sights for marksman weapons. They were at sniper speeds and will now be between sniper and AR speeds. Additionally, we have done some targeted normalization of hipfire spread amounts. This is huge because, you know, when you're using these types of weapons, but you're moving as slow as a sniper and you're not hitting as hard as a sniper, but you're not having as fast firing as an assault rifle, it's just a very odd thing. So if you're in that in-between category, you have to have your pluses and minuses. It felt like a lot of them just had minuses at a certain, specifically a 30-30 repeater. I think the bow feels great right now, though. So I'm excited about how that goes, and I think this is a good change overall. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. This season, we're taking the Peacekeeper out of the supply drop and putting the triple take in its place. The triple take is a supply drop? What? These weapons will have their stats updated. Bro, what will a golden triple take look like? Or an heirloom triple take, a red triple take. Oh my God. Crate weapon drop rates. Okay, since we're exchanging a shotgun with a marksman weapon, now was a good time to rebalance the drop rates of crate weapons. The Kraber will spawn less often in the early game and more often in the mid game to better accommodate its power. The triple take will be the most common early game crate weapon, with the Prowler being the most prominent late game crate weapon. Love it. Can't wait. Very excited. Fully kitted rotation added the Wingman, the Bocek, the R99, the Hemlock, and Sentinel. Ooh, these are all gorgeous, 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 gorgeous weapons. And we'll say goodbye to the R301, 30-30 repeater, Mozambique, Longbow, DMR, and Spitfire. Oh boy, I feel like the Mozambique though. Guys, I think there's something there. All right, shatter caps. Fire select to toggle between standard mode, and these are the two ones for the Bocek. All right, so shatter caps. Fire select to toggle between standard mode and shatter mode. In shatter mode, rounds split into a blast pattern on firing. This is basically like a shotgun. This hop up will be equipable to the 30-30 repeater in the Bocek. So 30-30 is getting the hop up. Dead Eyes tempo. Firing at the perfect moment increases firing rate. This can be applied to the Sentinel in the Bocek. So guys, this is huge. To make room, the Hammer Point and Skull Piercer hop-ups are vaulted for now and won't be available. Well, the P2020 and the Mozambique, bye-bye, except maybe not. But this is crazy that the Sentinel is going to get this hop-up. I'm very excited for this because I think the Sentinel with a little fire rate, that could be huge, especially if you get in the rhythm with that weapon. That would be really fun. But I'm excited to see the Bocek with both of these on it. So we'll try and get some videos on that later, guys. Assault rifles, reducing the headshot multiplier for assault rifles from 2.0 to 1.75. This was already the case for the Hemlock, so the affected guns are the R301, Flatline, and Havoc. This is interesting because the R301 always scaled really well because of the fact that it had that double headshot. So it basically went from 18 to 36 a bullet. And things like the Alternator, which started out maybe a little bit stronger in terms of, we're really hitting it like 23 or things like that. They were not critting in this way where it was even comparable to the R301. And so now you're going to actually see a little bit of a squeeze as far as those weapons. They're not going to have this huge outlier. It's going to be that's going to be a difference. I'm curious if the R301 will stay the meta weapon this season and how the Flatline will do. Okay, the Peacekeeper, baby. It is back. I've played it. It's really fun. Feels like a good old Peacekeeper. Damage reduced from 10 to 9. It comes with a precision choke. Rechamber time increased from 0.9 to 1.1. Reload times increase 2.45 to 2.5. Empty from 3.35 to 3.5. Pellet spread increased in general, and spread when charged increased for all charge levels from 0.65, 0.45 to 0.2. Basically 0.2 off of each one of those and 0.15 off the last one, meaning that the pellet spread increased in general and spread when charged increased for all levels. So essentially, pellet spread is just going to be, you're going to still have pellet spread even when fully charged. And it's going to be a little bit more than the other Peacekeeper, which would be even tighter spread. This spread might be, might be there, right? Instead of there at the other old Peacekeeper once fully charged. And not fully charged, the spread might be there originally, and now it'll be like that with the, they're basically just nerfing this weapon completely. And quickly loses charge after leaving ADS, so you won't get that remain charge. Since it's coming out of the crate, we put back the base stats in line with their previous values. We're also reducing its damage potential, bringing in its effective range a bit, since the precision choke is always available now. Triple take. Let's see what they did with this. Oh my god. As a crate weapon, it will come with a 9 ammo clip and a 63 reserve ammo. Fire rate increased from 1.2 to 1.3. Time to full charge reduced from 1.1 to 1. That'll feel good. Retains change charge briefly. Okay, after you ADS, you'll have a little bit of a charge retention. Move speed while aiming down sights has been increased to match other marksman weapons, so this will be even faster than before. And they increase spread while airborne and aiming down sights. Interesting. So really just a bump to the fire rate. Full charge. It comes with full ammo and a 9 ammo clip, etc. So it'll be interesting. I'm very curious to see how well this performs. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. It's nothing crazy, but I think that's the right way to do it. Havoc. Increased recoil controllability early in the pattern. This should help make for the reduced headshot multiplier and make it a bit more usable in mid-range fights. Yeah, because the headshot multiplier did get reduced on the R301 Flatline Havoc. Recoil controllability is very good. The Havoc had its day. I'm not sure where it's at now. Let's see. Spitfire Nerf, guys. Reduce recoil controllability early in the pattern. Oh, boy. The Spitfire is too strong at the moment, boasting good damage output with low recoil. Making it a bit harder to control early in the pattern should give more time for opponents to fight against it. That said, we're prepared to make more changes to the Spitfire if it remains too powerful. They clearly don't want the Spitfire to be nerfed. I don't think it should be nerfed either, because it is one of those things where it is annoying, but you just need to find ways to fight around it, and you have to have people who are not fighting around it have an opportunity to basically see it, acknowledge it, make a counterplay, and then fight, which is what wasn't happening. Spitfire was just opening up on you and just never stopping and hitting you really, really hard. So this will give you that opening time to maybe not get hit by one bullet, make an adjustment, get around the wall, know you're fighting a Spitfire, and attack them with something that's maybe a little bit more high burst, or when you have the advantage in terms of initiating that fight. 30-30 repeater. Wow, okay. Increased damage multiplier from 0.75 to 0.85. That's huge. Move speed while aimed down sights has been increased to match other marksman weapons. So it's going to be faster when you're aiming down sights and more damage to the leg. That's good. The 30-30 gives some love, so we're bringing up the amount of leg damage it does. This should make it a bit more consistent without raising its high best case damage potential. Yeah, I think that will be good. I mean, I don't even see that the 30-30 repeater's high best in damage has too much craziness going on with it. But I do think that raising up its average damage is a huge part of this weapon becoming valuable, because you just look at the G7 Scout in comparison. It's just like, why would you use a 30-30 when a G7 is available, to do that job? So much faster, so much more consistent and valuable, and across map, close up, so many different ways, right? And I think this is good to know. Move speed while aiming down sights is increased, like we mentioned, but they increase the hipfire spread, reduce accuracy on the spread to be more in line. So this is one of the bigger elements of the G7 Scout. And maybe, again, this is helping these things to have, I don't know. This maybe will help the 30-30 repeater and the Bocek bow to balance themselves out. Because the G7, with less accurate hipfire than these other weapons, maybe will not become the optimal choice. This is interesting. Okay, guys, moving on. Longbow, increased headshot multiplier. Nice. So Longbow headshots are going to hurt a little more. I love that. 2.0 to 2.15. Not bad. I mean, I think this is the right direction for the Longbow. It's got to hit harder. Already has a fire rate decent, but needs a little something else. Very much kind of like the 30-30 repeater within the sniper class. Doesn't hit as hard as the Sentinel. Not quite as reliable from range as the charge rifle. Not as good at all as the triple take, because it can do all those jobs up close and far away. So what is its role? Yeah, it needs a little more damage. I like it. Wingman, increased headshot multiplier. Nice, interesting. Since the Skull Piercer's out, they gave the Longbow and Wingman a compensatory buff. Okay, guys, look at this. The freaking Mozambique. What? Yo, we increased magazine capacity from 4 to 6. Wow, a 30% increase. in ammo capacity and magazine capacity. Move the lower 2 pellets inward in the blast pattern. This brings up the baseline power level, so only finding a Mozambique early in the match gives you more of a fighting chance and makes up for the removal of hammer points. P2020, increased bullet damage from 15 to 18, lowered the fire rate from 8.5 to 6.25. I like this. It's like more heavy hitting. It's slower firing, but they will back more of a punch. This is what we need, baby. Baseline power, P20, Mozambique. I got a P2020 in a dream this season, guys. Okay? I'm a Mozambique D's almonds. Okay? What you think I was going to say? Most players couldn't take advantage of the first fast firing rate, so we're moving that down. Players will win early fights. Great. Arc Stars, aim and movement slow. These are huge patch notes, by the way, aren't they? We're getting close to the end, guys. So we're getting close to the end, but we got to finish this off strong. Arc Stars, aim and movement slow, removed from the initial stick. Sticking someone should feel rewarding, considering it's a rare occurrence that's difficult to pull off. While an argument can be made that getting stuck should be a personal death sentence, the inability to at least relocate and spare teammates from the follow-up explosion makes it hard to counter against a coordinated team. This change should help mitigate that without stripping away the satisfaction of hitting a nice stick. So, essentially, you are going to have two things that you can do. When someone sticks you can fight back, and your aim won't be just totally slowed until you take the damage, and you can also move. So you could try to maybe get aggressive. You could try to get away from your team and not hurt them. You could try to get behind a wall if you know you're going to get down or you don't want to get thirsted from across the way. Interesting. I'm curious how that's going to play out. I mean, I don't stick people very often. I mean, maybe once or twice, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like every moment I throw an arc star, I'm sticking somebody. So I'm curious to see how that will be, especially in high level, which that happens a lot more. Badges are now sorted by categories. It could be filtered by all or unlocked only. Oh, my badge people, here you go. You got some more coordination for the badges. I love it. When looting death boxes, players can now see health bars for everyone on the team. Very nice. Very nice. You now get an idea, even while you're looting, if someone's fighting and you get some, oh, I'm losing health. Now you know, get out the loot box, go hang out with them. Challenges can now be favorited by going to the challenges menu and right-clicking a challenge. That challenge will then be adding to a new favorites tab that will appear in the lobby and in the matches match up screen. Pressing and holding F2 while in-game will bring up the ability description page for your character. Oh, nice. I like that. The ability description page for your character. That's great. I always have to go to tab to get that, and sometimes I'm doing it for recording. That's awesome. Players can now request better equipment by going to their inventory and picking a piece of equipment. Your first challenge reroll of the day is now free. Rerolling your challenges will now allow you to choose from either BR-focused challenges or arena challenges. Remember that, guys. Also, hollow sprays, quips, and emotes can be favorited. They will be used whenever the player is prompted to do a random emote, so you can favorite those and basically get your emote out. Club invites, V2. You can now include what you want to play when you send your club mates a party invite via the club tab. Look at that. Okay. I love it. I love it. And fixed edge cases were an abandoned penalty. I feel like the arena club for us guys is about to be popping. I would love to see you guys check it out. We're about to have a crazy arena moment here. So I'm excited for you guys to join if you're not a part of the Rainstorm. We may have a slot or two left. I don't really know. We're pretty full. Removing edge dropship flight paths to prevent matches where large portions of the map receive little to no traffic. These screenshots show before or after comparison of possible flight paths on Kings Canyon. So essentially what you're doing is you're limiting the flight paths you can have so that most likely you're always going to a place that has a potential for action and fighting for you, rather than having this variety of paths, which say, you're here and there's really not a lot of action, maybe over here or here, and your flight path is really taking you to these areas that aren't as effective. So they're tightening this so you can go here, because even if you're here, you can get all this area of the map. You can get up here. But if you're here, it gets a lot harder to get to these areas or here. And so they're just tightening that up, making it a little bit more consistent to go over the middle of the map, which I like. I think that's great. Also, a ring update. Here, this is a big one. We're continuing to work from the Fight Night update to improve match pacing towards the end of the game. We're slowing down the closing speed of the late game rings to allow you more time to fight and maneuver your way into the ring. We're also reducing the waiting time before rings 4 and 6 start to close. So ring 4 pre-shrink time reduced from 2 to 145. Ring 4 shrink speed reduced from 33 seconds close time to 40 seconds. Ring 5 shrink speed time from 20-second close time to 40. So the ring is going to be closing slower. So it allows you to fight, to maneuver, and to basically be in a little bit more of a strategic mode than having the ring be the thing that kills you, which is never what you want from a battle royale. The ring is just encouraging players to run into each other eventually, but you don't want the ring to be the decider as to why you lose a game. Ring 6 pre-shrink time reduced from 130 to 1 and reduced from 140 close time to 2. So 145, 40, 41, 2. Got it. So love it. So we've gone a little bit more slower and more patient. Should make for better games. We've got Bloodhound Fixes, tactical ult not showing, Pathfinder, gas traps, and jump pads no longer float into the sky when placed next to a zip line. Wraith, slight wall bumps no longer inadvertently cancel Wraith's tactical. Mirage, decoys no longer die after a tick of thermite damage. You know what? Mirage fans, not a lot this patch, huh? Octane, ordinances will no longer get stuck and disappear when being bounced off of jump pads. Death totems will no longer bounce when a jump pad is placed under it. Players will no longer have weapons drawn if they are knocked as they enter the Fight Night ring via a jump pad. Update Octane's helicopter emote to correctly remove his leg for which he is using it to do said helicoptering. Watson, fix the extend prompt for Watson's fences not appearing in certain situations. Hot drop skin will no longer block view when reloading the Sentinel. Oh, actually, I do know that one. I'm glad that's fixed. LOBA, fix more areas where LOBA's bracelet fails. Nice, especially with the LOBA buff. Red-handed skin on console will now properly animate. Rampart, mobile respawn beacon now is proper. Collision with amped cover. Jumping on and off a damage shield will no longer transfer the flame effect to your weapon, which is great. Also, players will no longer have weapons drawn if they are knocked as they enter the Fight Night ring via gravity lift. One-time hollow sight will no longer block view when using certain skins for Horizon, and fix an issue with Newt not getting refunded if it immediately dies due to a bad spot. Fuse, one-time hollow sight will no longer block view when using certain skins. Flatline, part of the iron sight was being displayed on the over the whole weapon. Prowler, supply drop prowler can now toggle fire modes, thank God. Sentinel, move tooltips to not overlap hop-up icons. Fix a graphical issue when swapping to Sentinel. That was a big graphical issue. I'm really glad they fixed that. Fix the menu issue with the advanced look options being hidden. Survey beacons will now appear on the map when teammates are respawn. That's Apex Legends Season Legacy. Those are the balance changes. This is Rain Day Gaming. Never give up, never stop gaming. You let me know what you think in the comment section below and leave a like because this was about 40 minutes of a video. Okay, as always, see you guys next time.